Conversation here. William Dartmouth now is a member of the European Parliament. Thanks for being with us, Mr. Dartmouth. So, I mean, is this a sign that the British banks have finally given up on Europe's economy and they no longer think it's worth saving?
Well, I mean, I can't really speak for the British banks, but I mean, what they seem to be doing, or indeed what they seem to have done, is to reduce their exposure to Greece, which seems to me to be eminently sensible.
Not a great vote of confidence in the EU, though, is it?
Well, there's a distinction between the EU and the Eurozone. I mean, as you know, the party which I have the honour to represent believes that Britain would be much, much better off outside the EU, and basically that's what we stand for. But as far as the Eurozone is concerned, and the countries in the Eurozone, it was always a project driven by politics, not by economics. And now the economic birds, as it were, are coming home to roost. That's really what's happening.
What about this big rescue plan? I mean, why do you think EU officials haven't managed to agree on the conditions to bail out Greece once again? Is it because they genuinely think Greece isn't doing their bit, or do you think more likely they've got cold feet over the whole deal?
Well, I think that they've got frozen feet about the whole deal. I mean, Greece is really not a very large economy, and what are they talking about in the present bailout? 70 billion, with probably more to come in 12 months' time. And I mean, where's it all going to end? I mean, what's basically happening is that the taxpayers of Northern Europe, particularly Germany, are going to have to pay up to stop Greece from defaulting, and the German taxpayers don't, and the taxpayers of Northern Europe don't particularly like it. We already saw in the last Finnish election that a party called the True Finns, which you're probably more aware of in Moscow than most people are, came from nowhere to get 20% of the vote, and that was on the platform, specifically on the platform, of no Finnish contribution to bailouts for Greece. And we will see more and more of this. And the European officials know this, and that's why they're getting very, very, very cold feet about giving any more money.
So what is the fate
Greece.
for Greece? What's going to happen to it?
Well, I mean, I'm not an economist, so my crystal ball isn't really much better than anyone else's. But the terms of trade and economic logic is that Greece would default, which Greece has defaulted before. I mean, basically what always used to happen is that investors who lent their money to Greece and other similar countries received a higher interest rate in recognition of a risk of default. Now, Greek interest rates are currently 16.5%. They were 18% on Friday. So the markets are signalling default for Greece.
It's easy to talk about this as attached, well, I guess, is it? But, you know, we think about the actual people that are losing their jobs, that are finding it difficult to pay their bills. We've seen these mass protests in Spain and France over the austerity measures. Also looking at Italy, what might happen there. People are very clearly worried for their futures. Is it possible for anyone to give them any guarantees they'll be OK?
Well, I think I'd like to put it another way, which is that the obsession, the near fanaticism of the European elite for the political project of a United States of Europe and a common currency has resulted in a terrible, terrible human cost. People, the famous 19th century American politician made a famous speech, the Cross of Gold speech, saying, which said, mankind shall not be crucified on this cross of gold.
All right, but what words of comfort could your party offer these people?
Sorry?
But what words of comfort could your party offer these people?
Well, the words of comfort that we would offer is that we have everybody has a tremendous emotional commitment to Greece as the cradle of Western civilization. And the people, and if there is a Greek default, the people who would suffer would be the holders of Greek sovereign debt, who are basically banks, institutions, and the like, instead of the people who are suffering now, who are principally the 2 million private sector employees in Greece, who are actually bearing the brunt of these draconian austerity cuts. And also, where are these austerity cuts actually going to lead? I mean, the tax base in Greece seems to be, apparently, is decreasing all the time.
All right, William Dartmouth, thanks for being on the programme. MEP as you are, and also member of the UK Independence Party.
Yes, thank you.